Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the conversation piece with your host, Akila. Ready? Let's go. In recent years, the BBL has risen in popularity. A 2020 survey by the International Society of Aesthetic Plastic Surgery found that since 2015, the number of butt lifts performed across the globe has grown by 77.6%. Here are some quick facts about BBLs. BBL is short for Brazilian Butt Lift. Choosing the right surgeon is key. Post-operation, most people cannot sit directly on their butt from anywhere to 4 to 6 weeks. This is so the fat can stabilize in the new location. If you have to sit down, you need a specialty pillow called a boppy. There is swelling afterwards, so be prepared. And the cost factor, depending upon the country. However, if done in the US, you can expect to shell out anywhere from $10,000 or more. We're here to discuss the phenomenon with the BBL, and I want to get a perspective of someone who's had one done. So, hi, how are you?
Hi.
Okay, what made you get a BBL?
I did not like my love handles, so I was going to just get lipo, and then I had a little bit of hip dips like my little sister. So I decided to move my love handles to my hip.
What's a hip dip? I think I might have those.
Like when your hips, like when your body doesn't go like this, it's more so just like your hips are inverted more than poking out. They're like boy hips.
So you want to be more curvaceous?
Correct.
Do you think social media or anything like that maybe played a factor in that? Like,
I always wanted that snatched waist, so seeing girls like that on Instagram, I was just like, why not? I had the money.
How much did they cost?
The surgery, $7,000. Then I had to get an Airbnb for a week. That was like $1,500. Then I had to buy my fajas. Then I had to buy, like this, like a girdle thing. I would say in total 10.
Wow. You got done here in the States? Because I heard some girls go to like the DR.
My friend did. She went to Argentina.
Oh wow.
But no, I wanted to stay in the States.
Oh wow. What?
Mm-hmm.
I heard the recovery time is 4 to 6 weeks, and you can't really sit down. Is that true?
You cannot sit down. You cannot sit
so
down on your butt.
If
you sit, you lay down or you stand up. If you sit down, you're gonna that pressure, like the weight, is gonna kill your fat cells.
So okay, what is the procedure of BBL? What exactly is it doing?
So they take the fat out of you. They do it. Well, I got a lipo 360, so they took the stomach, back, sides, and I added my arms for $500. That's why. That's another expense. And then they put it in your butt and your hips.
And you mentioned that it's a number one plastic surgery that people die from?
Yes. The dangerous part is putting the fat back in your body, not taking it out. But yeah, that's the highest death rate cosmetic surgery.
Because can't they I saw one, they poking around your butt. I think they can hit like an artery or something like that? Or?
Maybe. Mm-hmm.
Oh, hell.
Some nerves. Yeah, I didn't know. I really didn't. I was more so just like, let's get it done.
Okay. Do you regret having it or no?
Yeah.
You do?
Yep.
Oh. Yeah. Is it worth it?
I liked it in the beginning, but it draws too much attention, and I don't think my body was that bad. Like, it was more so of a, why did I do it? I don't know. When you gain weight, the fat goes straight to your butt. So my butt's just getting bigger and bigger.
Are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
So you exercising?
No. Yeah, because I feel like it's getting out of control.
Oh, wow.
And that's just too much. I hated it in the beginning. I did it for myself, honestly. But I was still curvy when I did it. So I don't even know why I did it. But after I did it, just men are just they just look at you like they want to eat you. And yeah. I don't like that.
The male gaze. Me and your sister were talking about that before.
I can't stand that.
Yeah. They do that regardless what your body looks like.
Yeah.
Okay, last question. For anyone who's potentially looking into this, we want to give any words of maybe encouragement or discouragement?
I feel like I'm not against plastic surgery, so if that's what's going to make you happy, then do it. But I feel like if you could work out, then I would go that route, even though it's not that easy, even though you're not going to get like instant results like you would in surgery. But I would probably take the natural route because not everybody's natural anymore at all.
Yeah, that's true.
And I mean, health wise, you just be careful. Depends on where you go, because there's some surgeons out there that, oh, 2,500 for a BBL, and then you're getting infected, you know? So my doctor, he has his own practice, like he has his own office, his own everything. So I would probably go the natural route. If I were to go back in time, I don't know. I regret doing it because me looking back at it now, it's dumb. But if I can go back and undo it, I probably wouldn't, if that makes sense. I'm on the fence. I don't know. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Or did I just contradict myself? It's not redoing it smaller. If I were able to go back in time and redo it, I would redo it and then become a gym junkie instead of just like my body was so perfect. I was just like, oh, okay, I'm invincible. I can eat whatever I want. Like nothing's going to change. But it fluffs. I mean, your body's recovering for 6 months. So
6 months?
Yeah. You're changing every month. You're swelled up. It's going to get bigger. And it's crazy because when I first got it done, I was actually crying. Remember, I was crying because I didn't think it was big enough. And now I think it's too big. If I were to go back in time, I wouldn't get my butt done. I would probably just get lipo on my stomach because I did have love handles. But now, so I love my waist, I love my stomach, but I hate my butt, if that makes sense. So, yeah. Thanks for having me. No, you stop.
Thank you. I wanted to share some poetry that I wrote concerning body image. And I wrote this maybe, I'll say 15 years ago. I'm aging myself, but it's okay. All right. This is called Supersize Me. So I dress up in a supersize. You bombard me into being thin, marching plastic dolls and paper covers. I can't even motor my vehicle. Ridicule me in the height of light, while our uncle subsidizes my addiction. The idiot box molests my intellect. I should only watch the Food Channel. Let me interrupt with a new public service announcement. I love my short little neck, my pouty lips, my big old sloped nose, my dark brown eyes, even my inherited forehead. So I dress up in a supersize. You aren't killing my self-esteem. I love myself too much to hand you clay to mold myself. Hey you. Yeah, I'm talking to you. Do you have Spotify? If so, turn on the notification button. You can also find the Conversation Piece podcast on Google Podcast, iHeartRadio, Pocket Cast, RadioPublic.com, Breaker.audio, and Anchor.fm/Akila Lynch, spelled AQUILA-LYNCH. Thank you for your support. If you live off a man's compliments, you will die from his criticism. Cornelius Lindsay. So, I had some questions around this whole conversation about the construct of money. And the national debt level is how much a country owes its creditors. So, how is America in debt? Who are America's creditors? Well, it's America. As of October 20th, 2021, the national debt is $28.8 trillion and counting. So, is money a construct? Technically, no. Its value is what the government states what the value is, what we give value to. So, how and when does the Treasury Department print money? The Treasury Department prints the bills, but it's the Federal Reserve who has control and say of when and how. And as far as the Great Depression, how many recessions and depressions have we had as a country? Well, a lot. Too many. Money's not real?
Money is not real.
Why? Oh, don't go quiet now.
No. I'm just trying to figure my sentence out because I'm trying to make it make sense. Because in my head, it makes sense, but when I say it out loud, everyone looks at me crazy. So I don't think money. I don't think money is real because the concept behind it, the way it's used, it's like a mental system. But the actual value to money, the actual value to cash money, the actual value to electronic money, like the one you see in your bank account, it's not really there. And then the physical money is the only way it can really be there. But they have turned a $1 bill and a $100 bill. Same product, same whatever, ingredients, but it just has a different number on it. And so all of a sudden it has more value. The only reason it, quote unquote, has more value is because they told us. It's a mental thing. That's what I'm saying. So if the banks printed more money, okay, wait. Actually, rewind before I get into that. How is their debt? And the USA is in whatever amount of money in debt, but they just won't print that much money out. And then why can't they print that much money out? Because it would mess with their little system. What system if money wasn't real in the first place? There's a lot of questions. I have more questions than answers when it comes to this.
Oh, me too.
And I was saying I began this concept because let's say I buy an expensive pair of shoes and I feel guilty. I was just like, money's not real. I just won't look at the bank account. I try to convince myself. But the more I started playing with that concept, the more I realized it really is not real. Wasn't there like a crash? Was it the Great Depression?
Oh, yeah.
I almost said the Great Recession. The Great Depression. Didn't that start when everyone wanted to get their money out of the banks into their physical hands? There was something I read about in class. One guy went up to a bank and he was like, I want my physical money because I just want, I don't want it in being held in a bank. And then everyone tried to do it at the same time. They didn't have enough money. They just had the numbers for the people. So I think that caused a crash, but I don't know if that was the Great Depression or not.
I saw a documentary on this not too long ago, and it did mention that, and I forgot what caused it. They were tying it somehow to the housing market, about how because for instance, how the average worker, they haven't had before. You would get raises, and it went in conjunction with inflation, but inflation has gone up and gone up and gone up, and your wages haven't gone up, which is why most people are like, we need $15 an hour, quote unquote, and $15 an hour is not even a livable wage, not in this day and age. Because they take away transportation, healthcare, childcare if you have it, medical, your mortgage, your bills. How much money do you have to live? The average worker, you don't have it.
Yeah.
So this whole this whole thing where they don't deem a certain class of people are worthy of $15 an hour or more. They'll come after us, the middleman, the little man, for taxes, but. How many corporations, how many people who are extremely wealthy, first of all, they don't even pay their fair share of taxes at all, if they pay taxes at all. For instance, that's one of the criticism of Facebook, Amazon, the main companies, they don't pay their fair share of taxes, if they pay taxes at all. But you want to come after the little man for, first of all, you're taxed within an inch of your life. They tax you for everything. Yeah. Everything is taxed. And then here coming in April, you want to pay more money?
Yeah.
Which is why people make efforts to hide their income.
But the same reason why they won't give people, that 15 an hour, like minimum type of thing. Why?
Just because
make more money.
The argument is that, well, if I pay my workers more money, everything's going to go up. Yes, it is. Like, I have to now pay them more money, so therefore a sandwich that costs $5 now may cost $7 or $8. Like, everything's going to go up.
Mm-hmm. I've seen people who also feel like money isn't real, or like this system of money doesn't make sense. And then there's always people with like comebacks. Well, they're like, you don't understand it. If they print more money, then this problem arises, and all this stuff, or then everything loses value and all this stuff. So just by the production of something, if that can literally change how society is or not, it can fluctuate just like that. That means that whatever system was already placed around money, the value placed around money, is a mental like game. If they gave everyone $1 billion, nothing really means, the value of everything kind of just, it's not exciting. It's nothing pretty much. Anyone can afford anything. So if that can happen,
even a value of something is a perception. Like, for instance, why we put more value on, like, say a Louis Vuitton or a Gucci in comparison to some other brands. It's the same shirt. Mm-hmm. They look almost similar, mm-hmm. but one costs $1,000, one costs $25.
It's a
right,
mental
but
thing.
you're led to believe that the one that costs $1,000 this might be superior to the mm-hmm. one that costs $25. Probably the same material.
Do you think it adds value to themselves? I own 5 Louis shirts. Oh, like, I have that. Same as somebody wearing a $5 $1 shirts. Like, it's the same purpose. But I think as time evolves and money and all this Bitcoin stuff, I think that's when it becomes way more and more complicated. And then that's when you really see that money isn't real. What is Bitcoin? And then what is it, Bitcoin or whatever, that there's only so much of it that they made. So you can invest on stuff, but there's a limiting, like a capacity of the money available.
I don't know how Bitcoin works. I just know for a minute they were pushing Bitcoin hard. It's like, mm-hmm. why are you pushing this so much? Not everyone can afford Bitcoin.
But like you said, back in the day, let's say like gold was the currency. That, even then though, think about it. That makes more sense than how money is used today. Because it's like, I physically give you this, you physically give me something. Mm-hmm. But let's say I give you gold for like oranges. I survive off the oranges. But what is the gold going to do for you? Even back then, the currency doesn't make sense. It's not really real. It's just a trade, mental games. So I'm going to buy my pair of shoes, and the money in the bank account might go down, but it was never really there. Does this make sense?
Yeah.
I sound crazy.
I mean, now we have this whole credit thing, and the credit game is rigged too.
Oh, yeah.
But credit, if you look at the credit game works, more people are in debt.
Mm-hmm. That's what we kept seeing people in debt. Yeah, that credit.
Yeah.
It is all a game.
I'm not gonna buy into that. I don't have a credit card. I used to. I don't have one.
No.
I don't. No. And they always give me, "Oh, you're pre-approved." I bet I am.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you have to build your credit and stuff.
That's build my credit. Okay, for instance, when I was trying to buy my house, right? Mm-hmm. So when you apply for a loan, like, oh, you don't have a credit history. Mm-hmm. What do you mean I don't have a credit? Why would I have a credit history?
Yeah.
I mean, in order to get a house, I have to get a credit history. See how they play games with you?
Yeah, they make you feel like you need to do something. Like this is just part of life.
It's crazy. If I have the money, if I have the physical money to put down for a house, why are you coming back with me? Well, we need a credit history. They just want to see how and what you spend your money on. They want, because everything, especially now with the credit cards they can pretty much trace you. They can trace your buying habits, right? Because, they just want to see, okay, what kind of person are we potentially lending money to? Potentially holding a mortgage for? Like,
and then they say, like, oh, it's just to see, like, how reliable you are with paying it back. Paying it back to what? The bank?
And see, with interest, oh my God. Okay, see, and I asked my mom this because I probably need to do more research on this. But for instance, with Muslims, we don't deal with interest. If you come to me and say, "Hey, can I borrow $500?" Like, yeah, I'll give you $500, provided you pay back $800. How does that work? Yeah. You're now in debt. Mm-hmm. You know, if you borrow $500, you should pay $500, not double or triple that. That's what keeps people in debt.
It's like a scam. Oh, I think this is my bottom reason why money is real. Let's break it down. We're in a house right now. Mm-hmm. Who owns the house? My parents. Who owns the land that this house is on? Who owns the world? Like, there's not a physical being walking on this planet right now that owns anything truly on this world. That's why I don't think money has any value, because all the stuff that's made, all the stuff that's bought, where we are living right now, none of it is ours. But how can it be ours as soon as we put some money on it?
Well, this is the thing, right? Owned. Well, yeah, of course not, because you're under the impression that, oh, this is my land, I'm paying a mortgage, I'm paying, I pay my property taxes, so this is mine, right? And here comes the government claiming eminent domain, mm-hmm. and they can take your house from you. Like, wait a minute, time out, wait mm-hmm. a minute. That's why I think people need to know. That's why it's important for you to know your rights, know what the laws are. Because I know some people who know it to a T, mm-hmm. they know the Constitution to a T, the Bill of Rights to a T, and so when a government comes for them, because I used to think, like, anti-government people, I used to think they were, like, kind of, like, wacky out there. But now I'm trying to, like, they're woke. Oh, yeah. They know what's going on. Mm-hmm. So when here comes the government, they pretty much have a posted sign, like, shh, don't come on this land, mm-hmm.
Don't get me wrong, though. I do enjoy the concept of money. It gives me, it lets me buy shoes. It would let me buy a nice car, a nice house. I like what it can give. But at the end of the day, I know it's not real. The value of money was never really there. But when you print more, it just shows. Do you see what I mean?
I see what you mean, but I also understand the concept is that if you could just print money, mm-hmm. then there's no value in the money because you can just make more money.
Which makes more sense, but we're physically capable of printing more money. Right. The possibility is there.
Prices of stuff will go up.
But we physically make this value, this currency, you know what I mean? Like, it's made up.
I mean, every country has a made-up currency. Like, Jamaican money is worth that amount of money, what they said it as. So yeah. It's like that everywhere.
I found a cute poem written by Cece, which is in our book, There's No Humility in Art. It's called Dead Broke Poets. Bloop, 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 bloop. Puff, puff, pass. Came home with expectations, found disappointment instead. Got Kool-Aid, but no sugar. Peanut butter and jelly? Damn! No bread. Not enough ham for a burger, so I ate a pack of noodles instead. Thank you again for tuning into another episode of the Conversation Piece podcast. I am your humble host, Akila, requesting that you join me again. So, until then, be safe. Love and value yourself so that you can love and value others. I bid you adieu with the greeting, Assalamu alaikum, peace be with you.